Hi, everyone.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? Welcome to July 8th, Daily Gaming News.
That's right, July 8th. I like it. I like the emphasis.
Enthusiasm. We've got
It's gotta be there.
Stories. A lot of stories, a lot of like game things, announcements, what's happening in the gaming world with streamers, with Comic-Con. Lots of stuff coming up.
Yeah, and like we said at the end of the last episode, we were going to be talking about at the top of course, Souls-like Mortal Shell gameplay and open beta has been happening, and some of the footage is for those Souls fans out there. I think they're getting ready to dive in.
You will be. So originally meant to be a closed test with a limited number of players, Cold Symmetry has announced that the ongoing Mortal Shell beta will now be open to everyone.
And this news actually comes from the official Mortal Shell Discord channel, in which the developers explained their decision for going open.
They said, quote, "We heard that a lot of you were feeling left out and frustrated with how we were handling key distribution. We have tried our best to keep up with requests, but we never expected this level of high demand. So we've decided to open the PC beta early, and it's available right now."
And this beta build allows you to possess two mortal shells. You have Heros and TL. To better understand their subtleties in combat, this beta does not include spoilers. We decided actually to keep that a secret just a little bit longer. And we have deliberately orndoned off as much open, sprawling marshland of Fallgrim to help keep it focused.
So before we, I guess, leave you to just look at this gameplay, there's a warning that Mortal Shell was made for battle-hardened Souls-like fans. It's vindictive design assembled with spite. It will take the best among you around an hour to complete it. For everyone else, expect your progress to be much, much slower.
And I just want to say, I feel like these games, and especially the way they've talked about Mortal Shell and some of the footage I was looking at, this is like Battletoads type difficulty, where like the game is meant to punish you with how hard it is.
It's supposed to be incredibly punishing, incredibly difficult. If you're looking for something casual, this is not going to be the game for you at all.
At all. What's up, Rixie? Welcome, welcome. So one of the things that I feel like as we watch the Mortal Shell footage is, you know, I think we talked about this. Sekiro got the Game of the Year last year from the Game Awards, and people were like all about this title. And for me, I just couldn't find myself getting into it. But there were plenty of players who were like, I love this level of difficulty. It draws me in to want to continue to play it.
It definitely took me a while to get into Sekiro. Maybe after 45 minutes I started to enjoy the game, but the first the first like leg of the game I was definitely like, this is a little too much. I don't know if this is like fun to me to try to do the same thing over and over, but once you get into that first mini boss, I really felt the need to kind of not want to put the controller down, of like, I almost got it, like, I'm gonna get it next time, and it definitely pulls you in after a while getting used to.
It does, and I get the sense, too, like, I don't know if anybody in here is a Souls fan. Hey, thank you for the follow, Foodie. And welcome. And also, Chicken, thank you. Welcome. The Souls-like experience, you know, for those who are in the chat, do you like these kind of games? Is this something you're actually looking forward to? For me, I think it's kind of like the setting draws my attention.
Mm-hmm. The setting is really dark. It's really spooky. Instead of just talking about it more, do you want to get right into it?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Cool, let's take a look. The setting is so grim.
Right? It's funny, it's like this.
Scorny.
Yeah, this Scorn, yes, but this also feels like, I don't know if you know of the band Tool, but Tool,
really?
They have these like really like ominous and odd music videos, and this totally reminds me of a Tool music video. Yeah.
It looks like Voldemort if Voldemort were Jack.
And I love it. You just wake up, you don't know where you are, you're just up and you're going. Oh, and right away.
Wow.
I mean, no weapons, just... Run away!
Rixie says, I want to look like that when I'm dead.
Right? Hey, thank you, EG. Feel it fits this setting.
Yeah, I got a green screen mine. I'm like, I want a cyberpunk background now.
Yeah, right? This feels like what the backdrop would be in a cyberpunk news reality. Okay. Yeah, the timing is key.
I wonder how tough this is off the bat, because this player makes it look very easy, but I'm sure they
Right?
have a lot of experience playing this game.
If that was me, it was like, you're already dead. Okay, gonna start over.
With metapod powers, yeah.
Right? The fog of war that they have, you know, is super intense. So I was like, every time an enemy's popped out, I'm like, I had no clue.
Right? It's the first boss already.
Oh wow, ready? Seem to have a lot of health. Oh, that's cool. Hey, thank you so much, Ray.
Oh, thanks.
Really appreciate that donation. Thank you.
So you can harden, but they can also harden.
Right. I think there's also a feature to this game that we're going to see coming up too, which is like you don't look like this character forever. You get to actually eventually possess the bodies, the shells of other ones. I believe so, yeah. Oh, I also thought the Hamilton play to Adam's comment there. I thought he was being hilarious, but now you're like, no, it's an actual game. It's called Hamilton.
You can turn it down a little if the water's too loud. The water does sound very nice. Great audio design.
The audio design, I think for this, it's like it's another one of those elements. Like when you do like a horror film, you've got to have amazing, you know, mixing.
Yes.
So something like this, the setting, the audio's just got to be on point. Ooh, Foodie Vic asking favorite foods. It's always a tough question. Computer chips, I love it. What are you, a robot?
Maybe.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if you think about it, like the game just started, and you're already into what is probably going to be some 20, 30-minute battle.
Oh.
Okay, all right. You just started the game. What is this? Grilled cheese burrito. All right. Food talk is making me hungry already.
Glimpse of truth. Use this item to reveal its effect.
Nice. Okay.
So
it's a lot of discovery.
I was looking at the graphics, and I guess the graphics aren't anything fancy from what we've seen, but I know Dark Souls games are not about the graphics at all. It's all about the feeling, it's all about the gameplay, and I think they've done a good job with the environment of creating that whole world. Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised if the graphics for, you know, I'm assuming as we can see here, some are changing and setting is changing. Yeah, see here, this is it. This is what I was talking about, where you can like possess a body. And I think they each come with like different skill sets and move sets. Yeah. Very cool.
Cool.
I like this feature a lot. Hey, EG, thank you so much for that donation.
Thank you so much, EG. Tarnished seal.
Yeah, the water effects are loud. That is true. But again, for something that seems simplistic visually, you've got to, you know, bring the climax, you know, elsewhere.
I like how there's like no story. It's just like, here you are. This is what you can do.
Yes. They do not hold your hand in any way. They're just like,
No.
and go.
Oh, this is nice. Oh, we have to kill them.
They're just hanging around the
They're
fire.
just chilling?
Yeah, who's just chilling in a place like this? Okay. Whoa. Nice.
GG.
Can you use those? I'm assuming you can like use the pot and maybe make some stuff. All right.
Do some cooking. Make some potions.
Cooking mama just shows up.
Yeah. It seems like each environment is very small. It kind of reminds me of Fable, how there's only like a little pocket you're in.
Yeah.
Like any one moment.
It adds like a claustrophobic feeling.
It does. You don't know, you don't know what else is there.
Yeah.
And I like how it also isolates each battle, so you know there's not going to be like
Yeah.
a bunch of, enemies.
Right. Especially if you know you're in a boss fight. You're like, oh, please, I don't want to have to fight something
I don't wanna
else.
deal with minions. I can turn
Looks
up
like
my
you've been-
gain if this is...
Been poisoned a little.
Is that audio better?
Yeah, Reapathy, that's right. So you could pick up an item and unintentionally harm yourself, I'm guessing, but you do it to learn about it.
I wonder how often... They didn't possess this enemy, right?
No,
I wonder how often you actually get to switch.
that's a good question. Is it one of those situations where like maybe you find a shell you really like and you come across another one at a later point and you have to like make the decision, do I switch? Do I keep with this one? Pros and cons type moments. Nice. Awesome. Oh, that was a cool little move.
I like that slowdown.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a very like niche audience, you know, and that's something
It
to
is.
say is you're gonna have people just come to play this game just because they're huge fans of this specific genre. Ooh,
This player makes it look so easy.
yeah. There we go. Oh, got knocked out of the shell. That's right.
Oh.
And then you can get back. Whoa, we got back in.
Oh. It's like opposite Sekiro, where you have 2 lives.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Ray, thank you again.
Your
Thank
trap.
you so much.
Oh, thanks so much. Are the enemies stuck in the trap? No. Were they? Yeah.
Looked like it. And in other like Souls-like games, the enemies can end up fighting each other, right? If they're around each other and they're like,
I think so.
they're not the same type of enemy.
Right. I remember when I played Dark Souls 3. Did we just hear the strum of their like lute or guitar?
Sounded
when it was
like it,
set
yeah.
on? Yeah. When I played the tutorial of Dark Souls 3, I already thought that was like so much to handle, and I was like, I can't do this. So I was surprised that I was able to enjoy Sekiro because, you know, I had maybe it was a little
different
easier.
feeling. A
Yeah,
different feeling.
maybe more
Yeah.
approachable.
Yeah, I would say with Sekiro and these games, this one specifically with like Mortal Shell, when it has like that kind of like hell purgatory like vibe, where Dark Souls kind of has that very like heavy
Very
kind of
purgatory.
demonic and evil feel. Sekiro didn't really have that. It was more of like these are just challenging,
Right.
you know, humans, but not necessarily. But then no, that's true. There was big like demon fights at some point. I think I played like 2 hours of that game and I had to put it down.
It's too much.
Too much. It
Not
was
your
too much
thing.
for me. Yeah.
Oh,
It's too
thanks,
much.
Kane.
Kane, thank you so much.
Must be
You all are so generous today and kind. Thank you all so much.
Not one of those boorish
We love you. Hey, look at this guy.
I like
He's
his
eating
hat.
good. I mean, he's eating
he's
good
eating
down
good.
here.
In the meantime, why not take
Oh,
a look at
merchant.
my wares? I'll gladly
Tar.
accept any tar. as payment.
What are these items? Quenching acid, loot, golden bell. Even with these items that you buy, it says use this to reveal its effects.
Right.
So
you could pay for something and you're just like,
you don't know.
I just spent all this money I've earned. Ooh, and a black cat. Little
And you
kitty.
can pet the cat. That's nice.
That's like my cat Axel is in the game. About the same size, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, nice.
That's true, they did let you pet it.
It's important.
Yeah, it is. It's like every game that has an option for you to pet an animal.
It makes it immediately better.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm also curious to see the setting change from what it was into the beginning, and this, feels kind of like more like you're in the woods. Does the settings also begin to get a little bit more evolved as you journey down? I would assume so.
And it looks like you really have to discover paths. Earlier we
Yeah.
saw there were some like roots that you could chop down to get through, and now they're like testing out like, can I actually go through here? Is this a way?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Adam. What's his name when he's like, ha ha ha? What are you buying? What are you selling? Thank you. That guy.
Arguably the best character in Resident Evil 4.
That's right. He was always laughing. He would like sell something. He'd be like, ah ha ha ha. Thank you. And you're like, all right. Thank you, EG, for the donation. Thank you. I think there's like a funny video too. You bring that character up of somebody like going around dressed as the merchant from Resident Evil 4 and like interacting with people. Yeah, just like
That's
random
so
but hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, arrows.
Again, I don't have the Dark Souls experience, but in Dark Souls, was there like a mini map or anything like that? Does that feel familiar? Because I don't see that at all.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there was. And you kind of had to remember to retrace your steps every time you died. And you just kind of like learned the map that way.
I just learned that too, that the voice actor for Leon is the same for the voice actor of the merchant. Now my mind is blown. Thank you.
Great
So
voice
no maps.
actor that they could do both.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no maps.
So you've got to have like a good memory with a game like this.
Right, or you just have to die enough times that if you don't know the map by that point, then that's kind of your fault.
Just like wandering around. You're like, am I going in circles? Yes, you are.
Oh, this area looks a lot more open.
Yeah. I was just thinking that too. I was like, okay, there's a boss. Looks like there's a minion to the left, or maybe another shell sitting there.
Oh, maybe that's a shell. Good point.
Oh, are some of the boss fights kind of like, in Skyrim when you would do like a boss fight, you would then get like a new shout? Mm-hmm. I wonder if you go into these areas where these big fights are that a shell is nearby, like they're essentially protected. Boom. Oh. One hit kill.
Brutal. Gain glimpse. I like how the items are also, vary with the environment and the time. It's like roasted rats and like inferior moonshine and kind of like worse versions of like cool medieval stuff.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly right. The medieval setting here is very thick. And that's true. These are the Ray, the die enough times quote from Kaisa there is the phrase for all of these Souls-like games.
Is this a merchant in a new spot? We haven't circled back, right?
Did he circle back around? Maybe he did. Just talking about getting lost.
I wonder if you clear a spot, but you circle back if a new enemy comes up, or it's kind of like you cleared it, then you're all set.
That's a good question as well. I know if you guys want and you're a Souls fan, you can go and participate in the beta. It's available on the Epic Games Store. So go in, check it out, enjoy it, tell us what you think. Again, I'm not really drawn to this genre, but I am excited to see people play it and see how they feel about it that are fans of that genre. You know, does it live up to the Dark Souls standard?
I feel like this genre is like if I've had an easy day and everything is going right, then that's the mood where I'd want to take on a challenge of playing something so much more difficult. You definitely have to, sit down and play these games to get a handle on the combat system, to progress through and have fun with it. I think that I do enjoy these games, but I'm seldom in the mood to actually play them.
They're so stressful. But there are people that they're just like, I'm into it, I'm ready, let's get stressed out. And I'm like, I'll watch you get stressed out.
I'll watch you get stressed out. You can focus, I'll just relax.
Yeah. Well, our next story is one that I think is really exciting. And this is another thing. Kaisa, we speculated on this when we were talking about the new Batman game. We were talking about this very specific feature getting used in more of these games.
So we have a rumor of a new Batman game, which is very exciting. I'm really excited for this. And the new Batman game currently in development by Warner Brothers Montreal is going to feature an updated version of the Nemesis system seen in Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War, according to rumors.
So an individual on Twitter, the Comics Kid, who provided to be and who has proved to be a very reliable resource in the past regarding DC rumors, recently revealed that the upcoming game will feature the Nemesis system complete with different factions. And among these factions will be the Gotham City Police Department. And the game will also have connections with other games, but it's not clear if they are other DC games, as previously leaked, or the Batman Arkham games.
And just to show on the screen some of the Batman Arkham games, if any of you have played them, they are really fun. The environment's cool. You can fly around the whole city. And, even if you played like 10 minutes of this game, you'd see how cool it is. So the Warner Brothers Montreal Batman game, which is rumored to be named Gotham Knights, will apparently kick off a DC game universe, which will include Rocksteady Games' next title, rumored to be a Suicide Squad game, as well as a next-gen Superman game.
Whew, we were talking about the Superman game, and we were talking about this Nemesis system getting used. It's crazy. The new Batman game will kick off a somewhat cohesive DC game universe, which is new to this. And shortly after its release this fall, the speculation is that it will be followed up with a next-gen DC game from the creators of the Batman Arkham franchise, Rocksteady Studios. The roadmap from there is foggy. Sources to this have said that a next-gen Superman game, not Rocksteady, is also in the works at Warner Brothers, but again, nothing has been confirmed yet.
Warner Brothers Montreal's Batman game is supposedly getting revealed next month, and we'll keep you updated on it as soon as possible, so stay tuned for all the latest news.
Okay, let's just go ahead and get this out. The Nemesis system is one of the most amazing developments in gaming, in my opinion, in a long time, where a game carries your decisions with you to the point of when you are bested by an NPC, that then becomes your nemesis for the rest of the journey, and you have to basically become a better player to beat them.
Wow, I'm personally really excited for more DC games. I'm a big DC fan. I'm all about DC villains, and I think DC does a good job of, letting its villains have the spotlight, especially with Suicide Squad, which was a horrible movie. Although I love Margot Robbie, I love Will Smith. I actually like Jared Leto as a Joker, unpopular opinion. But I hope that...
The flames are coming.
I know. I hope that the Suicide Squad game is kind of a redemption, or it's going to be the redemption arc of the movie of like, hey, you wanted the movie to be this game. Like, I hope they use that as kind of another shot at it.
Yeah, I would also venture to say is like this setup for a new DC universe, within gaming is smart, because I think one of the things that they recognize is what's about to happen with the Marvel Avengers game, which we've actually talked about in length. And if this is going to be debuted next month and they start to hint at these games are going to be coming out and they're all going to have like these tie-ins that happen, you're going to bolster that community that's already a huge fan of the Batman games, which that is, again, another community that is very vocal and proud of their series, because honestly, this is a game that from gameplay to graphics stands out as one of the top tier titles you can go and experience in current gen to kind of get a mindset for next gen.
Right. I'm really excited for the DC game universe, and I know for whenever I play one of these Arkham games, it's honestly, I think, like too much for a lot of computers to handle, because there's just so much happening. But I do think that it's kind of a glimpse of what you can do on next gen, because in these games you can fly all around the city, you can go from region to region, and it really seems like it's the hardware that's, you know, holding back how much you can enjoy these games. So I think this is a good opportunity for them to create titles, you know, that gamers will be able to enjoy on next gen, that they can look forward to. The DC universe I am all about, because there's been so much Marvel universe, but no one ever really talks about a DC universe. It kind of seems like a lot of heroes in the DC universe are kind of isolated to their own stories versus, you know, coming together for any Avengers type crossover.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about a little bit of the Comics Kid Twitter. One of the things that he posted is basically saying like the Bat family is playable, which that's also a very juicy rumor. Are you talking about like being able to kind of like take that GTA 5 approach where you can swap out and play as Batgirl, play as Robin, maybe switch from, you know, Batman to Nightwing if they choose to do it that way? And the GCPD being a part of the Nemesis system is awesome, because in the comic books, he was so hunted by the police department for so long outside of the villains that his only like source of help within the police department was Commissioner Gordon. So that to me is another just an awesome moment as a comic book fan, but also as a gamer, of like, what are those characters going to be like? What's the Nemesis system going to do with the police department?
I think it's perfect to tie into a game like this or a story like this because you will have a nemesis, you know, in those games, in those stories, and to be able to translate that over to the actual gameplay, I think is a cool, you know, next step that they're taking with these games.
Does that mean that we will, and I want to throw this out here again, we've made some of these predictions before and we've speculated on some stuff so that we know that a Superman game is in the works again. That's a rumor, but it's in the works for next gen, which makes sense. Could we one day finally see a Batman and Superman video game? Actually work?
I would be very skeptical, because the movie was so bad of Batman versus Superman that with Suicide Squad was bad, but I have hope that a game would be better. If there were a Batman versus Superman game, I would not touch it at all unless it was bought for me and I saw reviews everywhere saying that they did a great job. Because
I'm with you.
We've talked about how Superman hasn't really been done right in games. It's kind of like, well, you know, Iron Man can fly, Superman can fly. Like what's so special about Superman here? And how if he had kind of maybe like a morality system that he would always have to kind of grapple with, would make, you know, a Superman game be a lot more different. I don't think Superman has been done right in games, and I think I would need to see like a good attempt at that first before tying that in to playing with Batman.
For sure. I'm right there with you. For me, when I hear it's going to tie into other DC games and they're possibly going to go this route of doing a Superman game, which we need, like a legitimately good Superman game. We've all wanted that. I think the Spider-Man game was one for us that was like, all the other Spider-Man games were amazing, but this is the pinnacle of the Spider-Man experience. It's the same conversation I've heard recently of Iron Man. Even though that Iron Man VR game has come out, there hasn't been like a legit Iron Man video game. So some of these characters need to kind of get their respect that they deserve, because they're iconic in the industry.
They are, and I don't know why they've been slept on for so long.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just no one's really pitched it well. Maybe, you know, there's always been another superhero that's more popular at any, you know, specific point in time that it was just, you know, skipped over. But it's due time for Superman to have a good game of his own, and this Iron Man VR game, I think, is overdue.
Yeah, and I want to believe that this footage will drop next month. And if it does drop next month, trust us, we will be showing it. And I do still have my fingers crossed, because if you could do a type of, especially with the Bat family being, you know, playable if that's the case. If they could do a co-op experience where you and a friend could play together, one plays as, Robin, and the other plays as Batgirl, and one plays as Batman, and the other plays as Batgirl. However it could be done, that would be such an amazing experience to do that together in the open world Arkham franchise.
It would. I'm looking forward to this. I hope, more information comes out beyond just rumors. It would be even just like an official announcement. I don't even need a trailer. A teaser is fine. Like the Fallout teaser we saw where nothing's actually shown or said. It's just like, hey, this is here. I would be
That's all we need.
Even if
it's just raindrops and then we see the cape floating and we just know that's good. We got it. Thank you so much. We're there. We're ready.
We got the idea of that. So moving on to a game that's not nearly as dark is Stardew Valley, which has a new update.
This is really interesting as the latest update is a significant one to the end-game content. Jordan Gerblick from Games Radar reports that the Stardew Valley update 1.5 is coming along steadily.
Stardew Valley's next update is a big one. Developer Eric Concerned Ape Baroni teased the new content in a Twitter post on Monday morning, promising a, quote, significant new piece of endgame content and much more.
The tweet reads as this: Stardew Valley 1.5 update. Notice anything new in Willie's shop? Progress on the update is coming along steadily. It's still in a nose to the grindstone phase, but some good milestones have been met. And this update adds a significant new piece of endgame content and much more.
There's no word yet on what exactly is coming in Update 1.5, but the addition of a new door behind the counter in Willie's shop might be a hint. One thing we do know is that banana trees are coming because the community voted for them, so give yourselves a pat on the back if you're involved in that vote, which I thought was cool. Concerned Ape just tweeted a Twitter poll that was like, what next tree would you like? And it was like mango, banana, lemon, or whichever, and the community voted banana, so he was like, okay, adding it to the game. And I'm like, perfect example of listening to your community. Amazing.
There really is. And the wide-ranging update 1.4, which went live in November, it did add a massive new amount of content, including a new spouse event. Previous updates were of a similar scope, so we can expect the 1.5 to be a seismic event with plenty of big changes and smaller mysteries waiting to be discovered.
Back in March, Baroni confirmed that on top of the countless little secrets that have already been found, which include clever details as well as more complex things like the Galaxy Sword, there are still some Stardew Valley secrets sitting around that players have yet to find. And I think this is mainly news to me because all of these updates are free. This is not paid DLC. Concerned Ape has said that, they don't want to release any DLC that you have to pay for. And Stardew Valley has been out for years and there's still so many updates coming out.
I gotta give it to these indie developers and people like this. I mean, clearly the polling of getting the tree, the developer behind this game is as wholesome as the game is.
Yes.
Someone was saying how cute Stardew Valley is. Like, we need more games like this, but we also just need more of that vibe and that energy of people who are in charge going, you know what? This isn't about paid DLC. This is about you guys who are just the community I love to create for, or just to continue to be happy and satisfied, and I'll continue to create for you. And hopefully more people will come in and play Stardew Valley.
Thanks so much, Kyle Mighty, for the support.
Thank you, Kai.
I agree. I think Concerned Ape is really as wholesome as the game. I've seen a lot of tweets where people would say, hey, Stardew Valley has actually encouraged me to go gardening and start a farm of my own, actually. And he'll retweet those things and be positive and really listen. And I think it does, a lot for their reputation as well, to just show, how they're really now also an influencer in the community, whether or not that was the goal. I feel like it sounds very vapid to, be an influencer, but they are leading a community, and I think it's a great display of leadership, and how I want to see more of what the gaming community is and how developers do communicate with their players.
I love Ray's comment there of nothing's going to encourage me to go gardening, to be honest.
Nothing at all.
And we're going to have those types of players, of course, that are like, I like my digital gardening experience. But how cool is that if someone was so inspired by your game that they were like, yeah, I went and started, gardening, and I love it. And I love to do it in real life. And then when I get done doing it in real life, I turn right around to my digital gardening experience and I just keep it going.
Right. And then I just keep it going, and I think Stardew Valley has been a little bit slept on in the recent months because of Animal Crossing coming out, but I think it's a game that I will go back into. There's a lot of content, but there's a lot of content, but there's like, it's aimless, I guess. You can kind of do whatever you want, and to me, I like it more than Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing is, they're both grindy, but I guess it's a different kind of grindy for each one.
For sure, yeah, and I get what you're saying there too. I'm also wanting to see this developer get an opportunity with this, Epic Games deal that they have, where like, Epic is like trying to fund smaller independent studios and developers and and give them money. I would love to hear that story come around where someone over at Epic or someone over at these major distribution places are keeping an eye on this individual and going, you know what, let's back this person on a bigger, grander scale and see what they can do, because clearly like the content of that person's character is the one you want to go like, hey, here's a bigger umbrella for you to go and pull in more gamers, especially right now with all of us like just essentially going through our own suffering with COVID-19 and the global pandemic. Games like this are a blessing to have around.
They are, and I'm glad that bigger studios are looking at more developers to bring onto the table, if that's what the developers want. I know a lot of people might be an indie developer for personal reasons, or maybe because, they haven't been signed on to a big studio yet. So I hope that, more big studios taking these kinds of people on is, an opportunity that they now have that they might not have had before.
Yep. So hats off to you, Stardew Valley, for keeping up the content that you do. Concerned Ape, continue it going. I'm excited for the future and to see what happens. Keep it up.
Me too. What's up, Algebraic? Welcome to the stream.
Thank you for the follow.
This next story, I kind of just want to zip through, but I had to throw it in here because it's It's a niche game, but there is a new game from the Danganronpa creator. A lot of you in the chat have seen me play this game. This game is very has a very cult appeal. It's not nearly as widespread as Stardew Valley, but I thought this was cool news.
So Jonathan Bolding of PC Gamer has reported that the creators of the crazed visual novel series Danganronpa will release a new game on July 17th with their new company, 2Kyo Games. Or is it supposed to be Tokyo? No, 2Kyo Games.
No, it's spelled 2Kyo.
Okay, 2Kyo Games. Sure. An FMV
Tokyo
adventure
games?
mystery with a science fiction twist, Death Come True, is billed as a new wave interactive movie game. What a title right there for a genre of games. And near as we can tell, that just basically means it's interactive fiction with full live action movie accompaniment for each scene.
Creator Kazutaka Kodaka became well known in the interactive fiction space for the bizarre creativity of the Danganronpa series, which was critically acclaimed in Japanese game circles before getting translated, and critically acclaimed by those in the US and worldwide as well. Danganronpa is a game about trying to figure out who in your school is a murderer, among many, many other things.
Death Come True's protagonist is a young man who wakes up in a mysterious hotel room with a tied-up young woman and a news report on TV accusing him of being a serial killer. He does not know the woman, nor how he got there. And the outcome of his story is up to the player. But it seems like there's going to be a lot of dying along the way, as each death will have the player collect death medals based on how they died so they can view the outcomes on DeathTube. And you are encouraged to collect them all.
Suitably grim given the game's pedigree. Death Come True will be released on July 17th, and you can find out more details on the Death Come True Steam page.
Looks like, so Adam's, I guess, seen some of the gameplay. That's awesome. I'll have to check this out. What a unique new wave of game to hear about.
It's Danganronpa is super weird. When someone first told me about it, I was like, what did you say? They're like, Danganronpa. I'm like, what? Like, what is that you're saying to me? And it's just like super weird, super bizarre. The dialogue is really well written, and that each character is, so much their own person. And it's a very, chill game, in that there's not much actual gameplay, and it's more of a click through, like, visual story novel. So if anyone's looking for something relaxing and quirky and grim, but not grim at the same time, because in Danganronpa all the blood is like hot pink, like it's not actual blood. If you're looking for something fun, check out Danganronpa. #not sponsored. And I am definitely going to be playing Death Come True.
This is going to be great. I can't wait to watch you stream it and see other people play this game, and to check out DeathTube. That's just, I'm there, right?
I'm there.
So our next story is one that is expected with everything going on, but also exciting because this is going to still happen, as a virtual San Diego Comic-Con of 2020 will be almost entirely pre-recorded.
San Diego Comic-Con's upcoming virtual event, Comic-Con at Home, will be almost entirely pre-recorded, according to The Wrap, which had learned that exclusively.
So the SDCC expects to present 300 to 400 online panels between July 23rd and 26th, and almost all of them will be filmed ahead of time by studios and networks and submitted in advance. This was a spokesperson speaking for Comic-Con International.
According to the representative, the organization does not currently anticipate anything live for Comic-Con at Home, but it is possible there will be some live elements to some programming.
This means that fan Q&As obviously are out, though the spokesperson says some studios and shows have reached out to their communities via social media to ask for questions in advance.
Comic-Con at Home panels will be available for streaming via the Comic-Con International YouTube page.
And San Diego Comic-Con 2020 was canceled in April, of course, due to the coronavirus pandemic, marking the first time the annual pop culture event won't happen as planned in its 50-year history. In May, Comic-Con International revealed it would be holding a virtual con in lieu of the in-person event, with personalized snacks, free parking, and no lines, among other lockdown-friendly perks.
I love how they had to pitch it as like, oh, there's personalized snacks here and free parking, and you don't have to drive all the way to San Diego. So the official schedule for Comic-Con at Home will begin rolling out this Thursday, 2 weeks ahead of the pop culture event, as has been tradition for the in-person con as well. But a few studios and networks have already revealed which TV shows and movies they'll be bringing, which include The Walking Dead, American Dad, Family Guy, The Boys, The Simpsons, Marvel's 616, Solar Opposites, Archer, What We Do in the Shadows, and Bill and Ted Face the Music, among many, many more.
Yeah, The first note I kind of want to draw attention to, is the 300 to 400 online panels. I'm already curious about the person with the 3 monitors set up who's like watching every single panel at the same time and just going through. I mean, that's a lot going on in a few days, all specifically online.
That's a lot of content, and I was trying to look into like what happens if you bought a badge. I'm assuming you're not going to need a badge if it's just going to be streamed on their YouTube, unless there's a way to have like a private YouTube for certain people, which I don't think currently really exists. So I guess this will be available for everyone, which is cool. That means I'll be able to watch this event and actually enjoy Comic-Con for once. I've never been to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I hope it still is fun. On the screen you can see Comic-Con is big for not only the meet and greets and panels, but a lot of cosplays. A lot of just enthusiasts like to go here as like a hub for everyone who likes comics and everything in the comic world. So unfortunately that won't really be a part of it. Maybe it'll be supplemented by, if there are specific forums, that will be where people go to talk about all the panels and all the things that they've learned, or if they've also addressed the community aspect of Comic-Con versus just the panels.
Yeah, I hope there is maybe some sort of, I don't know, like an online, like people create their costumes, but they just still do it through like video chatting to show it off. Because one of the parts that I'm always mesmerized by is seeing all the hard work that's put into some of the cosplay here, and just being thoroughly impressed by the ones that have like an attention to detail, like that one I remember seeing, like the Predator, like parent and child that was together. It was so adorable, but again, the attention to detail in those suits, I was just blown away by.
And I know some friends that have been to Comic-Con that don't cosplay, and they're like, it's Comic-Con, we're going to cosplay anyway. And it's, a fun way to get involved in that because, everyone is in, some sort of, con wear, whether it's a cosplay or whether it's all your badges or all your pins or your cool like jackets that you've picked up at other conventions. It's kind of a cool way to show off, and that community aspect, I think it's sad that I don't think it'll really live there, but I'm glad at least they found some way to still have Comic-Con versus outright canceling it this year.
Yep, and that's a thing too. What you were just saying there is one that I'm happy to see. They're finding a way to still, give this experience now to a larger audience. So how many people will do this version of Comic-Con and want to go next year? Like, oh, wow, this was amazing. I've never been. I've always heard about it. I'll make sure to end up at one the following year. This could actually be like a huge bolster for Comic-Con, which was suffering, unfortunately, the kind of like community downplay of Comic-Con, because Comic-Con kind of started taking that like Coachella vibe where it didn't really have the seriousness it once did, and it started to become like a meme of itself.
Trendy.
Yeah. So hopefully they can like curb that by doing this gesture of goodwill with the event taking place online and having people be able to come and experience it.
That's true. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to kind of step back, reevaluate, what the creators of Comic-Con want to see from it, and present it to the audience in that way to kind of control the narrative there.
Yeah. So we'll keep our eye out for maybe some good, juicy details that come out. But there is a current thing happening with the top streamer, is that Ninja is currently streaming on YouTube, but there are no exclusivity deals in place yet.
So Jeremy Winslow from GameSpot reports that popular video game gamer and prominent Fortnite live streamer, as you all know, he doesn't even need an introduction, Tyler Ninja Blevins is reportedly in talks with multiple live streaming services, including YouTube, according to sources, and no exclusive deal has been signed yet.
So Ninja is currently in negotiations with streaming platforms. None of those have been signed, including YouTube. This was esports consultant Rod Slasher Breslow sourcing this, saying today's YouTube live stream from Ninja is all on his own, and maybe he'll stream on Twitch too.
Earlier this week, Ninja's wife and manager, Jessica Blevins, tweeted that this week will be fun. So we don't know what that means. We're all speculating into it, and this likely suggests that some kind of announcement may be imminent, but she didn't clarify what exactly that meant.
And Ninja left his massive Twitch platform for an exclusive deal with Mixer last year. However, Microsoft recently announced that the live streaming service would close up shop after July 22nd. Now, where Ninja will go is a mystery, but it was spotted earlier this week that Ninja was testing a YouTube stream on his official channel.
What do we think about this? I mean, we've chatted previously on where we think Ninja is going to go next, and I personally hope that he doesn't just go into another exclusivity deal. Yeah. I hope he takes this moment to, grow his brand even bigger, because while he got so much money from Mixer, I mean, just, what is it, 30 million in 8 months, which was supposed to be over the course of 3 years, was just honestly impressive. But the one downside of being on Mixer was he wasn't a part of all the Valorant drops, and a lot of his community wasn't there because maybe diehards for Ninja would go to Mixer to watch him. But, that's still cutting off a lot of people. I didn't use Mixer. Every time I did, it was such a struggle bus because the interface and the account login was difficult for me and a lot of people. It wasn't just me being dumb.
Yeah.
And I hope that he streams somewhere where he can play Valorant, because it seems like that's what he really wants to do. He was in a tournament or is in an upcoming tournament by T1 about Valorant, and it seems that he really wants to focus his attention there. So I hope, he focuses back on his brand and himself and continues to be a leader in gaming versus just taking the next big check. And there's nothing wrong with getting your bag, Ninja, but I don't want him to go to a platform where he'll just kind of, sit on the wayside and collect checks, when I think that there's still, so much more for him to do in gaming if he wants to do that.
I couldn't agree more. It's like, you could be all about the money, and if that's your prerogative, so be it. What else you could do is be a wonderful influence for the entire gaming community by kind of something that we had chatted about, which is like be in all of the platforms and you pick and choose, because then what you're going to do is help those that are there building themselves in those formats, whether it be Twitch, whether it be YouTube gaming or whatever, and some of these newer ones that are coming out, that you go to these places and it will draw the community over there. And there are people currently on those platforms working their tails off to try to, find an audience. And it is possible that if he doesn't do the exclusivity deal, that he could benefit the whole instead of just himself.
I also feel like he was kind of, maybe this is just my own projections or my own assumptions, but he didn't seem very happy on Mixer to me. Just the Valorant tweet really, I guess made that clear for me. Whereas a creator, it's not all about the views, but there is a big sense of pride when you do have, a big view count and you do have a big community that supports you. And it seems like on a Mixer, he wasn't able to, you play games in all his glory with how many hundreds of thousands of people watching him, playing his favorite game. It seems like he felt pretty stuck, which I don't know if he has spoken about that specifically, or any regrets he may have had with Mixer. Not to say that he does have regrets, but maybe it just wasn't the happiest time for him besides a massive paycheck.
Yeah, and that's money, it's that whole thing of just listening to what you're saying just makes me think of the idea that money doesn't bring you happiness. On a deeper level it doesn't. On an initial level it does. It's like, hey, I don't have to worry about these things that cost money. But there is an essence there of he first got into it, I believe, because he was passionate about gaming, right? Like that you get into that and you commit yourself to this thing. Hopefully it starts as a passion for the thing that it is that you're doing. Right. And ultimately this, for me, with my career prior, focusing on acting, though I still want to focus on that, this is a passion of mine. I love gaming. It has been something I've been doing since I was as young as possible to function holding a controller. And because it's a passion for me, I always want to, stay in that realm. And so I would only hope that if he's had that moment of being like, yeah, I've got a lot of money in the bank now, thanks to that Mixer deal, that it goes back to,
Thanks,
let me just focus on why am I passionate about this industry and what it is that I'm doing? Right. And use that as the foundation.
Yes. We are all in gaming because we like gaming. We love gaming. We want to work in this space. I mean, chat knows that I've worked some jobs that are maybe YouTube gigs or maybe on live streaming platforms that, might have been lucrative, but I might have seemed like I wasn't having as much fun as I could have, because it's hey, I'm thankful that I can, make a living doing this in this space. But at the end of the day, or, in a few months or a few years, that's not exactly what I want to do on some specific platforms or doing some specific content. And it was, good to have that opportunity, checked it off the list, and, kind of moving on to projects that I really want to work on. And I hope that Ninja kind of does the same.
Absolutely. We'll keep our eye on his journey, and hopefully it is one that is like we said, benefits all.
Our next topic is Valley's here. Valley's been waiting for this. You might
Get
already
ready,
know
Valley.
this already, but The Sims is getting a TV competition very soon.
Valley, are you ready to sign up? Because come on. As David Walensky from GameSpot reports that Electronic Arts has announced it will be partnering with Turner Sports esports and gaming entertainment brand E-League to broadcast a new competition series centered on the popular game series The Sims. Titled The Sims Sparked presented by E-League. And the new show will debut on July 17th on TBS and continue to air on subsequent Fridays through to August 7th. And BuzzFeed's gaming vertical multiplayer will be broadcasting the show digitally on the Mondays after the program has been televised.
There was so much in that paragraph that you just read. I was just thinking about how it's called Turner Sports Esports. It's not Turner Esports, it's Turner Sports Esports. I didn't know that there was BuzzFeed Gaming.
Didn't either.
Didn't know that existed. Now I know. Also, it's not called The Sims Sparked. It's called, quote, The Sims Spark presented by E-League, which is a lot. There's a lot happening here. This seems like it's very corporate. There's a lot of, companies with their, with their hands in this. So according to the release, the contestants will compete in 4 episodes for a panel of celebrity judges. I didn't know these celebrities. Maybe that's my own fault. To build the most creative and fully realized characters, world, and stories in The Sims 4. The grand prize is $100,000. And
that's not a small win.
That's not a small amount. And the judges include Maxis game developer Dave Miotk. Apologies if I butcher any of these names. YouTube personality Kelsey Mpichichi and singer-songwriter Taylor Parks.
And the Gen Z community, the BuzzFeed multiplayer executive producer Brandon Smith said that we are excited to introduce the highly engaged Gen Z community of BuzzFeed multiplayer to an intensive new form of storytelling with the imaginative world of The Sims. Partnering with EA and TBS allows us to offer new experiences for fans and expand our core values by spreading an inclusive approach to gaming across platforms and screens.
Coinciding with the show, a series of in-game challenges in The Sims 4 called the Sparked Challenge program will also debut on July 17th. The release says by playing, quote, top creators can win a chance to be considered for a future season of the show.
We have an official trailer to check out.
Let's look at the trailer.
This is The Sims Sparked, a creative competition where you design characters.
All these your best friends.
Build anything you can imagine.
Do you have everything?
No.
And tell original stories using The Sims.
I am in it to win it.
With new challenges designed to inspire creativity. You have 2 hours to work.
I don't even know if you can do that in that amount of time.
This is absolutely an insane
Yeah, we need to get Valley
opportunity.
signed up.
The stakes are so high. I'm terrified.
And compete for a grand prize of $100,000.
Oh my God.
What?
That's so much money for the show.
Really
The story is of a family bond that cannot be broken.
Oh my God, a
even by
funeral.
death.
Got me on my knees.
I had a death in the family recently. Totally touched me.
I'm just really
They all have like a vibe like they themselves have been created in The Sims.
Yeah,
Like there was a part of the story that everyone could truly
This
relate
got deep
to.
so quick.
So impressed at what you guys did right there.
The team that loses this
They all
challenge
totally
will
look
be
like
the team
Sims
going home.
themselves.
I'm freaking out.
I am literally going to throw up all over the keyboard.
And that leaves us with a 4-4 tie.
Probably the most nervous I've ever been in my
Take
life.
more than
Why
4
is
hours
this
to create my
happening?
character.
This
I know
is
that
real,
feeling.
like, game on.
So the winner is...
I have to destroy them. It's the only option.
Sim Sparked! Again. Go ahead.
This is also really big for gaming transitioning to network even more.
It is. It's a big move, and as we said before, in The Sims 4, there's a Sparked Challenge program, and top creators can win a chance to be considered for a future season. Valley, looking at you. But it's big that they're making like a reality game competition show out of this. Yeah, as you said, and there's big money on the line.
The big money is huge. You're going to get more people interested in doing it. You're probably now going to get people going, I got to start playing The Sims because I might be able to get on this show, and I have a huge creative mind that fits very well for The Sims, and I could possibly win $100,000.
That is so much. I think it's also cool to see that, especially maybe The Sims is more of a quote-unquote casual game, which I wouldn't describe it as that at all, but it's more relaxing, I guess. There's so many different types of gamers. When I think of gamers, I am very happy when I don't see just like the bro gamers, like Fortnite, which I realize makes up a lot of gaming base. There's nothing wrong if you're a Fortnite bro, but the whole gaming world isn't just Fortnite bros. It is also people who play The Sims as well. So I hope this show is fun to watch. It looks like a cool reality show at the end of the day. I wonder if there are any, pro Sims players. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there are pro Sims players, but they're
going to start to happen.
Pro Sims. They're going to start to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're getting paid to play The Sims, you are now a professional Sims player. And Sequasi says something that I was agreeing with, that like if you would have gone back 15 years, the first time I saw like a Sims game, and you would have been like, hey, in the future, there's going to be a competitive Sims and it's going to be on network TV. I would be like,
no.
You're crazy. Let's get you to a mental place ASAP. This is crazy. And it is a huge new opening and vision for gaming in the public perspective that still kind of like look at gaming as the old way of looking at it.
And it reminds me of that company that builds like cities in Minecraft, custom made for people, and how that's a profession where you're a professional Minecraft builder and you build, commissioned pieces in Minecraft for people. Like maybe we're going to see that in The Sims. If you're a pro Sims player, maybe you can build like a whole, city or whatever in The Sims. And that's a way to become, a pro content creator, in The Sims 4. I think it's cool. I'm a big fan of this show, big fan of this move.
I am too. I love it just for the overall health and benefit of the gaming community. And I will say I had a light bulb moment happen. If you are a Sims player and you start to see the popularity of The Sims grow because there are these competitions for it, you might be able to find yourself teaching people how to play The Sims and getting paid for it. Right now during COVID, you need to find a way to get some income, and that could be a great way to do that. Yeah, Sims coaching and offer that as a service. I could see people going, yeah, I'll pay for this because now it's a possibility that I could win $100,000.
And I want to see more competitions like this. I know there is a Twitch rival Stardew Valley competition where you had to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time or grow the most amount of like crops in the least amount of time. And there is pro Stardew Valley. So, these casual games can get competitive real quick. And I want to see more of that on Twitch. I want to see more of that in gaming and on TV.
Yeah, I echo that right behind you. Let's see more. But that does bring us to the end of the Daily Gaming News Hour for July 8th. Woo, we made it.
We made it. Thank you so much for joining us today with all of our news. We've got some juicy stories coming up for you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific when we will go live again, including an ex-Bungie exec spills the beans on an Activision deal and said it turned out as bad as we thought, which I'm really looking forward to getting into, and a reaction to the Outriders overview.
So make sure to tune in tomorrow with us to check out these stories and to that footage on Outriders. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, remember, we are here Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., where you can watch us live in that Pacific Standard Time on Twitch at Daily Gaming News _. Also, if you're watching on Twitch and you want to check out our previous episodes, tune in to YouTube so you can see our previous episodes. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so we continue to grow this amazing base of human beings that you all are.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I am Kaisa.
I am Marrone. You all have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.